All right, welcome back, everybody. So you're into combat robots. You're using the radio that you have been using, and all of a sudden you decided you wanted to upgrade. However, you're finding out that when upgrading to a radio or a different radio model from like a Fly Sky to, for instance, a RadioMaster, which we have a pocket here that is on Edge TX with it's under ELRS for the receiver. You're finding out you can't just plug the items in and take off. It's all messed up. It doesn't drive. There's one wheel spinning, the other wheel doesn't spin. That's what this video is going to be about. How to basically set that up. I was going to take a video of myself recording me doing it on the radio, but with the backlight, as you can see in the video right up here, it was hard with the GoPro. So I just took some screenshots on my phone, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to use a PowerPoint so you guys can clearly see it, and hopefully I can explain it to you as clear as I can. So we're going to use this RadioMaster Pocket for the buttons on here. So if you have that radio doing the exact same thing that I am trying to do, awesome. Follow along and learn something, I guess. But anyways, we're at the startup screen here, learning or what do we need to do. The first thing we need to do is create a model. To do that, we're going to use the MDL button as the red arrow is pointed to right now. After that is selected, we're going to be brought to the model select page. We can use the right scroller wheel to scroll down to the open slot, which for us is 6, and then click on that scroller wheel, kind of like a PS5 controller where you can move it around, but you can click it in and it's an enter. So go ahead and click the in, and we're going to see where you can create a model, which you're going to select that again to enter. Think of the wheel that you clicked on is the enter button. So we went ahead and did that. We got model 6 up here. Once this is selected here, or once we created this here, we have multiple pages of configuration what's inside this model, as you can see by the green arrow. However, to get to those pages, we need to use the page over button, which is where the red arrow is pointed to right now. So when we click that one time, the next page will be brought to the second page. And this is where you can rename the model and select the external or internal modules for your radio frequencies. So when setting it up, it doesn't know you want to use an external module where you can mount on the back, excuse me, basically right there, or if you just want to use internal. Well, we're going to use the internal, which is ELRS. So if you use that little button to scroll down, I believe you go to the left right here, you'll be brought to where it says internal RF, which is the internal radio frequency. From here, we're going to want to select where it says off, hit the enter key by utilizing this button, and then scroll till we find CRSF, which is the ELRS protocol, which is built in. So once again, select it by this, and it'll be solid. Once it's blinking, it is not selected, but once it stops blinking solid like this, it is selected fully. Next, we need to get out to the main screen. To do that, we're going to use the return button, which is right here, which we're at now. From here, we're going to use the system button, which is SYS. What we're going to try to do here is physically bind the receiver to the radio. So we'll hit the sys button, and we'll be brought to the tools section. To bind the radio, we're going to need to get into the Express LRS settings section, as highlighted, or not highlighted, but seen by the red arrow, and you use the yellow arrow to select it by holding it in. Now we're in that section. These top items you don't really need to worry about, but what we do need to do is use the scroll wheel to scroll down to find the bind button. And once again, use where the yellow arrow is to click it to select it. And we'll be brought up to this page. So as of right now, our radio is looking to bind to the receiver. However, not quite yet, since we haven't put the receiver into the bind mode, which we'll do right now. All right, we're at the point where we are ready to bind this guy, right? So we're in the menu, as in the PowerPoint said. I'm gonna hit bind. Actually, we're gonna come back to that anyways. So basically the receiver's in there. I got the plugs in the back, battery hooked up. So to put this in binding mode, we're gonna have to unplug
what I'm going to do is use this little plug in and out, or you guys probably can't see it, in and out a couple times right there, right? I got to pull it out twice. So I'll pull it out once, plug it back in real quick, pull it out again, plug it back in, and then on the third time, as I plug it back in, it's going to put this into binding. So I pulled it out, there's one, put it back in, pulled it out, there's two, put it back in, and pull it out, that's the third time, and put it back in. Actually, hold on, I'm sorry. I did that completely wrong because I'm putting it back in. It's going to basically kill the battery. So we're going to start this over. I'm pulled out. There's one. Put it back in. Pull it out. There's two. And pull it out. There's three. And it should go fast here. And it did not. So it's not in binding mode yet. You can kind of see the blinking pattern, hopefully. Look at the camera real quick. Yeah. So we're going to try this one more time. So I think I'm going to have to do it faster here, you guys. So 1, 2, 3. And there you can tell the difference of blinking pattern. So since that's blinking in that way, it is in bind mode. I'll come to the radio. So basically, we're back to that screen. Not sure how well you guys can see. Especially, you guys probably can't see this, but I'm going to hit bind. And you're going to see the red light go solid here. There it is. So now we're successfully bound to the receiver. However, we're going to still have issues. So I'm going to hit drive, actually. So I got drive on the right stick, and it's only one wheel. And you kind of see. So basically I'm going forward, and it's only one wheel. Take a left, it's only one wheel. Right, that wheel. It's not fully set up yet. And that's what we're going to do next year. We're going to set these up so both of these wheels, when I'm pulling forward, it's going to go forward. When I'm going left, this will go backwards. This one will go forward. Right. This will go backwards, and this one will go forward. Just kind of explain how to actually do that inside this radio.
All right. Since we got the item all bound, we'll go back, and I don't have this on the page here right now showing in the PowerPoint. But we're going to use the return button again to get back to the system thing, and then the model button. And then our model should be selected, which for me was 06, and it was just an unrecognized name. And then we're going to use the page over button to get to this page, which I think it's the 6th or 7th page. But once you get to the mixes, this is where our next step is going to be. So as you've seen in the video, one wheel was going as we basically went forward, and one wheel was going, went left. It's all messed up. So we're going to need to set that up, which is going to be kind of what we're doing right here, or what we're going to be doing right now. To do that, we're going to need to highlight this first channel. As you can see where it's high with 100, it's highlighted by using the scroll button, and then click enter here. Once doing that, we're going to be brought up this menu. So basically, we can insert before, insert after, copy, move, delete. What we're going to want to do is insert after. I don't know if you want to call it another channel or what the really term is for it, but what it's going to do is put another mix kind of thing in there. Someone out there, if I'm totally off here, please correct me in the comments. But anyways, we're going to get to this point right here. Nothing really to worry about right now. We can just simply hit the return key, RTR, to get back to this page. As you can see, what it did is added another item right there. We're going to want to use the scroll wheel, go down to this 100 and under channel 2. So just a heads up, channel 1 and channel 2, that's going to be our drive, right? I didn't say that earlier. Channel 3 usually is a weapon. So as you're plugging the robot in, you will see that you're using channel 1 and channel 2 for drive, and basically that's what we're messing on right here. Also, we're going to be setting this up for tank mode. So as to drive it, we got to put the radio in there. This stick right here going up is forward, backwards, left, right. Otherwise, need help to, we can use this stick as well. Just a little bit of configuration. I'll explain that to you guys as well. But anyways, back to it. We'll select down under channel 2, 100. Hit the enter key once again and insert after once more. Now, what we're going to want to do is elevator will be selected there. However, we don't want elevator to be selected there. We want aileron. Elevator is basically the stick going up and down, what I like to call pitch. But actually, no, elevator. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that is elevator is up and down. But what we want to do is aileron, which is left and right here. So we're going to select that by scrolling down, highlighting it, and hit the enter key until it blinks. Once it starts blinking, we're going to select, or we got two ways to do this. We can scroll over till we hit the aileron, which is AIL, or we can simply move left and right on the stick and it'll auto select for us. And once it's there, go ahead and use the scroll button and push it down to enter. Now we're going to want to mess with the weight here. Currently, it is set to 100, but to get this to work right, we need to select this to negative 100. So we're going to scroll till it, highlight it, hit enter till it blinks, and then use the scroll wheel. I believe it's to the left. It's going to go negatives. So basically go negative to negative 100 like I have here, and hit enter, and then once again, return to bounce out to get back to the screen. As you can see, we currently have most of it set up actually here. Elevator, aileron. However, we've got the two kind of similar channels up here. We're going to need to change this basically up here where it says aileron to elevator to kind of match down here. So once again, we're going to scroll back up to select the 100 there. And then we're going to, instead of insert after, insert before, we're going to click on the edit button. And then from there, we'll be brought into the menu again. We're going to scroll down to where it says aileron, AIL, select it with the side button thing. And usually you can scroll to it says elevator, or you can push it up and down again to auto select for you to show it like that. Once that is selected, that is basically good right there. We simply use the return button to get out of there, and that is it. Now, I did kind of mention earlier too, that is everything on one stick, forward, backwards, left, right. However, if you fly drones and you're used to like throttle being over on the left side, the only difference here is when we're selecting on channel 1 and channel 2 for elevator, which is right here, I believe it's elevator, select throttle instead, which is THR, I believe. However, once you're in there, you could simply go up with the throttle button back and it'll auto select. That's basically how you set that up totally. So just to make sure this works, we're going to bring it back to the physical bot and do a couple quick tests. And basically that should be how you set up the drive with a different radio on your combat robot, from going from like fly sky to like a RadioMaster, for example. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and unplug the switch underneath the robot. So you should be able to get this connected.
Why is it red on there?
It's just the button for the thing to be connected. Okay. So the way we have it currently set up, can you guys see the remote? Yes, you can. Going forward and backward, it's going to be forward and backward. The rear tires and left, right. So as you can see, both tires do spin now. And going backwards, and they do spin the other way. Going left, they're going to go, you can kind of see, one's going backward, one's going forward, and right.
So faster.
Yep. So basically, that is how you configure.
Could it go faster than mine?
Maybe. But anyways, that's how you configure how to set basically this RadioMaster Pocket or any EdgeTX or ELRS system up for these robots.